Hey friends, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram.
And Southern Dude Knits on Ravelry.
AKA
David.
This is David, my husband.
By the way, I know it's not knitting.
And this is...
Kaia.
Kaia, hello. She's
gonna be popping in and out of frame.
Yes, we broke her from a nap to start this and she's not happy.
No.
But she's also back to napping. So we'll, she'll be here. We need to show her though.
Just real quick, baby.
There she is. There's baby Kaia.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, back down.
So she's here. Our little miracle baby. She is a 9-week-old charcoal lab, which we did not know was really a thing until about a week ago. She was born May 27th, down from a breeder in Newton Grove, North Carolina. Wayalife Labradors. Highly recommend. They are fantastic.
Very much so.
Her dad was a red lab and her mom was a silver lab. So
we got a charcoal
lab.
We
got a charcoal lab because that makes sense, right? So thank you to everyone who's been so supportive over the last 6-7 weeks.
Thank you. After
we lost Isla and now introducing this new addition to our family. So she has been the perfect puppy, seriously. I mean, last night she slept 7 straight hours before asking to go outside, and then played for a few minutes and then went back to sleep. And she's just, Tank has accepted her pretty well, actually.
All things considered.
Behind us. Yeah, all things considered, you know, he's had to lay down the law a couple times. Like, don't bite my tail when I'm wagging it. You know, oh, baby, it's okay.
It's okay.
She'll have to, we'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah.
But we wanted to just show her. And she's only 11 pounds. So here, come here, baby. Come here. Hey. Looky here.
She likes being held by Megan much more than she likes being held by me.
Well, right now she wants to sleep, so she's just upset. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. So this is our baby, Kaia. Kaia is Hawaiian for the sea, S-E-A, the sea, and Scandinavian for purity and life. And if you add a Y in there, it's also Japanese for forgiveness. So if you have a Y in the name. So yeah, she's our little miracle baby. That's not the full purpose of the video today. I'm going to be showing my cross stitch whips. I'm gonna do a little whip parade. Only my active whips though. I'm not gonna show any of like my restarts that are planned for restart or kits. I'm gonna do a separate video for that because I'm not sure how long this is gonna be on its own. And then David is gonna show his crochet whips because he now has more than one. So that's gonna be at the end. He just has a few to show. He's here for Kaia's support if she lasts. At some point it might just be me, but she is not at a point where we can really take our eyes off of her. Yeah. So in order to show her, we need 4 hands, 2 bodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our little baby, her color scheme is like the hibiscus colors. So soft pinks and reds and yellows. Yeah, it's okay. Hey baby. She has these like gray blue eyes, which is so pretty.
Yeah, she's an absolute stunner.
Yes, she is. So yeah. That's all on Kaia right now. We'll go ahead and get started with, actually I do have one more Kaia related thing. I have a start and a finish to start off the whip parade. Nope, you can't eat this. So this is one of my designs that I do for all of our animals in their color scheme. It's called Paws and Plaid, and this is for Kaia. This is using all color and cotton, so it is a conversion with her colors. You want to put her down?
I'm gonna take her out.
Okay.
Because now that the beast.
We're back. Now her bladder's a little emptier. So back to what I was saying. This is for Kaia, her little ornament. It's done in completely color and cotton colors that are converted from the DMC. So I used color and cotton rosebud, petal, twinkle, and then the gray for her is chimney sweep. So Just fun. I finished it, or I started it the day that we reserved her, and then I finished it on our way down to get her. So, super fun. Sending that off to get that made into an ornament. And then for this WIP parade, I'm gonna do chronological order. So I'm gonna do my oldest WIP to my newest WIP. Again, excluding anything that I'm planning to restart or have kitted up. So, and some of these you haven't seen in a while because I haven't worked on them in a while. So first one up is Celtic Christmas, which is by Lavender and Lace. And I'm doing this on 28 count sage from Color and Cotton. And I'm doing this completely as called for, except the skin is gonna be 1/1. And this is where we're at.
I'm very excited for those to be done.
Me too. This is my next one closest to the finish. And is her 1/1 skin. I'm gonna really focus on this one this December. This is gonna be my main focus piece. So I started this November of 2019. I started this on Thanksgiving of 2019. So it's been almost 4 years. It's time to make better progress. So this is gonna be my focus this Christmas season, I should say. All right. And then that one's also kind of a special piece. I have Celtic Winter done and Celtic Autumn done. I haven't started Celtic Spring. You're gonna see Celtic Summer, and then that's Celtic Christmas. And that pattern's actually a 3rd generation pattern. My grandmother had bought it and didn't do it, which my mom then inherited and hadn't stitched, and now I have it. So we're gonna get it done.
It's gonna be done.
It's gonna get done. And we're all gonna, then my mom and I can enjoy it. So, all right, the next one is Beachcomber by Carolyn Manning. This is the chart. I started this Mania of 2020. This is on 40 count mallow. And here's where we're at. I think this is at 33% done. Hello, baby. It's at 33% done. Okay.
I think it's playtime.
Okay, you go on.
Yes.
You go play.
I'll go back.
I'll call you back.
Have fun, friends. I know.
Play.
I know.
Okay. Sorry, it's gonna be a little chaotic because our life's a little chaotic. So, Beachcomber. Carolyn Manning, 40 count mallow. Love this piece. My goal for the year is to get this quadrant done. So we'll see. I worked on it a lot in May and June. So we'll see if I come back to it to finish that quarter. I really would like to, because again, it's been 3 years now since this got started. So I'd like to make some better progress, but that's eventually going to be a pillow when it's done. And then speaking of it, this is Celtic Summer by Lavender and Lace. I also started this Mania of 2020. My list over here. It's not gonna look anything like this. I'm doing a complete conversion. I did conversions for winter and autumn. I'm not converting Christmas, but I am gonna convert this. We got married in the summer, so I wanna turn this into a, like a wedding, sort of a wedding one where it is gonna be our wedding colors. And turning that little basket, theoretically, I wanna turn that into like something that looks like my wedding bouquet. I have not charted that yet. We'll see how that ends up going. It's on 28 count Salt Rock from Color and Cotton. And this is where we're at so far. It's a complete conversion, which actually slows me down a lot because I'm actually not super happy with the teals. I love the dark blues that's done, but this is technically 6 or 4 different colors and I can't tell the difference. Even from a distance, up close, like that is theoretically the gradient. The bottom 3 are stitched already and I cannot tell the difference between them. So I'm gonna play with this more. I think I'm gonna take a pause on the teals, and when I do pick this up again, work up onto her face and her hair and kind of get that in and then kind of come back to the teals. So we'll see. Not totally happy with it. It's gonna be so pretty when I can finally get that color conversion right. Because our colors for our wedding were like teal, aqua, and navy blue, turquoise. So I don't know. I have a lot. I made this conversion when I was still pretty new to like the whole world of cross stitch. Like I'd been stitching for a while, but I hadn't had like a ton of full experience, like especially like creating conversions. So I'm gonna maybe take another crack at it now that I have a little bit more experience. So I really like the fabric it's on though. So I don't want to like restart it, but I need to work on that conversion. So it's Celtic Summer. This is Hammock at Sunset. This was also started in 2020, but I restarted it last May. So I still have it in this order because I like started essentially 2 years later, and it was a mania start. But this is Hammock at Sunset. It's one of my full coverages. It's a smaller full coverage though, by Stitch X Cross Stitch Designs on Etsy. I restarted it once I got Pattern Keeper and learned about 22 count Ada. That's when I restarted it. So it originally been on a 16 count. I restarted it on a 22 count white Ada, and that's where I have 1 page done. 1 of 6. So not too bad. So you can kind of see where that is on the full coverage page. So want to get back to this. I haven't worked on this at all this year. I want to get back to it though. Maybe before summer's out, I can get some time into it. Then we have Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. And this I also have, I want to finish this year. This is on a hopefully finish this year. And I'm doing this on 40 count water green linen. And this is where we're at. The only thing I'm changing, let me use this as. The only thing I've changed on this one is I'm changing the white to white étoile to kind of get that shine. And you can probably see it in the ornament. I'm also changing to étoile 815, I believe. I need to write that down. One of the red étoiles for all the reds. So you can see like Rudolph's nose to get that kind of shine. And then all the whites are étoile as well. So yeah, so this tray, the middle tier is completely done. So, and I started working on that last time I worked on it. So there's still quite a bit of stitching left, but I would like to have it done by the end of the year, hopefully. And then this next one is Celebrate Winter, which I started with Evelyn at Evelyn Across the Pond. And this is also on 40 count water green. This is a picture of it. I don't have a printout of it. And I have the tier. So I don't have anything else done. The way I tackle these trays is I do the tray outline first, and then I can kind of easily like jump around when I actually want to do the motifs. So I have the tray done. I just need to actually get the rest of it. So that I would like to finish next year, maybe the year after. That's definitely gonna be a focus next year. Once I get Christmas, it's slated next after Christmas. Okay, and then this is also gonna be photograph. This is Seasons in Lace Winter by Jan Hicks Creates. And I'm doing this on 56 count antique white linen. And that's where we're at on that. This one I worked on this year. My goal this year is to get this to 25%, and I am at 25% done. Teeny tiny little stitches. I love the colors. I love it so much. She has completed the series, and I'm planning to do all four of them on one piece, so you can kind of see. And this is how big it's going to be on 56 count linen. Like this is pretty much cut to size. So on 56 count. So but they're big, but they're gorgeous. I am gonna change the colors of the summer one. I think the summer one is in purples, and I think I'm gonna change it to greens because that just says more summer to me. Okay, and then next was a gift from my friends at Keepsakes. Raverly de Natale by Alessandra Adelaide. And I'm doing this on 40 Count Lagoon. I started this on New Year's Eve 12 by 12, 2021. Worked on it then. And then I worked on it for New Year's Eve 2022, like the hour 12 by 12 that Pam from Just Keep Stitching and Kia from Kia Bee, they put on 12 by 12 every year, where you work on 12 projects for an hour. So this has only seen 2 hours of progress, and that's a regret. So, not very far. I am also gonna have to do a color conversion on this. It calls for this and then one other, it's mostly white, but it has one other color and it's like a purple. And so I don't think that would look as good on my fabric. That's what it's called for. So I need to figure that out. But we'll see. Maybe when I have more in it might look better, but long ways from that. This one I have slated for next year. This is another 12 by 12 of 2021. This is Celebrate 4th of July by Madame Chantilly. That's what it'll look like. I was hoping to finish this in July and I haven't worked on it in July. So we'll see if this gets finished this year because I haven't worked on it and I don't have that much done. But I'm doing this on 40 count raw natural. If not this year, I want this done next year. And this is where we're at on it. I have the tray in USA, so I have a start. I changed the red to that same red étoile, which is 815. Can I get that sparkle in it? So I need to pull this out again too. This is cut to size, so these are big too. A lot of stitching, but I do love this one. So there's that. And then another 12 by 12. These next few are gonna be 12 by 12s. This is Bluebirds of Happiness by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is part of the Songbird series. I've completed 2 of the other Songbird series. I'm not doing all of them, but I do love most of them. Bluebirds of Happiness. I just love those cherry blossoms. So this I have worked on since 12 by 12. I've gotten the birds and the nest done. Oh, and this is on 36 count Regency by Picture This Plus. It's really nice, like green background. So the birds and the nest are completely done. Let me put it behind white. Lost my white background. I just love these patterns. I love her style. I love them on 36 count. Like, I just love working on these. So, and this is gonna be all called for except for the fabric. I haven't changed any flosses or changed anything about the patterns. So, yeah, now I get to move on. I'm gonna next do the word. So I'm gonna come down and do happiness and then start on the tree, is my thought process. All right, and then my next 12 by 12, which is another one that has only been worked on twice, the hour in 2021 and the hour on 2022, is Madame Chantilly's Celebrate Autumn. I have already finished Celebrate Summer. It's the only one I finished, and I've started most of the other ones. So, Celebrate Autumn has only gotten 2 hours of work. I'm doing this on 40 count mallow. And this is where we're at. So I have her basket, an acorn, and starting the tray. This I'm gonna work on this autumn. I would like to get, theoretically, we'll see, like to get the tray outline done this year. But worst case, it will get worked on 12 by 12 again this year. All right, next is another of the Songbird series, Cottage Garden Samplings, Forever and Ever. And I am doing this on 32 count vintage Stormy Night. Yes, 32 count vintage Stormy Night. I love this one. Again, this one I also have not worked on except for those 2 hours last year in this, or 2021, 2022. And I started in the middle. And here we go. I am doing a few different colors for the reds. Do I have that written down? Yes, I'm doing, instead of the red pear, I'm doing Classic Colorworks Barn Door. That was recommended to me. I saw someone finish this at Keepsakes and they had used the Barn Door instead and I really liked it. So it's just like a little bit more red. So yeah. The modeling's not as harsh. Like, it's one of the printed fabrics though that they have, but I do love it. So I don't have any like intense like plans for that, like finishing it or anything. I don't have any like I want to get done by. That's just kind of as I feel, but I love working on it. All right, last one of the 12 by 12s for 2021 is Woodland Wonder by Glendon Place. Oh, I just love this one so much. Love, love, love. I'm doing this on 32 count Picture This Plus Oaken. I'm doing all the called for. And this again was only worked on during the 2 hours for 12 by 12s. Oh, so pretty. Gotten that border started. So now I have finished on this page, I finished that border. So now this year, hopefully I'll do more than just on 12 by 12, but if not, now I'm gonna start working on those inner snowflakes. So that's where we'll go next. But yeah, and then the inner border and everything, but oh, I do love it. All right, this next one I started on World Cross Stitch Day last year in August, and yeah, everything I'd started before that I've already finished. So then we jumped to August of 2022. Here's the picture of the pattern. This is June, Pearl June by Northern Expressions Needlework. And I'm doing this on 32 count raw silver. Oh, that's shine. And I'm using Almond M&M Orchid Silk. I just love it. I love learning these new stitches. And I am using different beads than what's called for because I wanted more. The beads that called for along with the silk was very like cream, and I wanted like white. So I will have the beads that I use down in the description box below in case anyone's interested in what I used instead. But I'm gonna work on this again in August over World Cross Stitch Day again. Keep going on that border. It's just a lot of fun to work on, and it's so pretty. And there is a December one. So David was born in December, and his is turquoise, which is my favorite color. So once I finish this, I'll start working on his. Okay. Next is a conversion by me. I saw this as a needlepoint and made it into cross stitch and then changed a piece of it. This is, I'm calling it ER2. I did this in honor of Queen Elizabeth when she passed away. And this is my adaptation of a needlepoint, which I'll have linked all down below, on 40 count raw. I did create that crown though. Like I converted, the original like needlepoint pattern had the red, I can't think of the name of it right now, but the red crown. And so I changed it to the imperial crown because that's what I personally always represented the queen with. And it's what was on her casket for the funeral and everything. So I only work on this during some kind of like English thing. My mom and I were Anglophiles. Like I love most things British. So I started this over her funeral, and then I worked on it during King Charles's coronation and like stuff like that. So, love it. I worked on it another time too. Oh, while we were watching The Crown. Worked on it while watching The Crown. So, there's that. So I just kind of pull that out, whatever. I don't know what the next English thing is that I'll work on it, but I have it ready to go. This one started December of 2022. Put in a picture. This is Hibiscus Arrangement 1, I think, some kind of name like that by Artisy. I'm doing this on 32 count wave pool by Color and Cotton. And this is where I'm at. Oh, I definitely need the white for this one. I love this so much, so much. Oh, it's so pretty. I want to focus on that. This fabric is to die for. And then the colors of this, I hope that's better lighting. Like, it's a little overcast today, sorry, the lighting's not perfect. Oh, it's just so good. So now I get to come down and start working on the actual hibiscus. So pretty. And again, just whenever I need a little sunshine in my life, I'll work on it, and a little happiness. It just makes, it's one of those that just like brings, I mean, all my crafts just brings me joy, but like that one especially, like, just makes me so happy. Okay, and then now we're getting into New Year's Eve 2022 12 by 12 starts. And the first one was this picture. This is the Shire by Country Magic Stitch. I started this with my good friend Claire, who's also into stitching, friend from med school. And that is as far as I've gotten. I have worked on it since 12 by 12. I work on it every time Claire and I Zoom together. Like if we have a catch-up Zoom, I work on it. So still just working on the green around the Hobbit house. She started in the top right corner though, or top right corner. So it's kind of fun. We're working on it at the same time, but have very different progress. See very different things, so that's fun. And then I also started, I don't even know which direction this goes. It doesn't really matter right now. This is Rivendell by Country Magic Stitch. And that's all I got. And I have not worked on it since 12 by 12. So, and I don't really have plans to right now, but I did want to get them started because Rivendell is like my favorite, but it's hard. You can't do anything Lord of the Rings without starting them with the Shire. Everyone convinced me to start the Shire. So I started that and I started with Claire. And then I was like, well, this is the one I really want to work on, even though I haven't, but I have it ready to go. I love Rivendell. All right, and then also on 12 by 12, I started Stars Hollow, Black Needle Society. They're doing the Gilmore Girls box retreats, and it started with autumn, and then summer, and then spring just came out in April, and then winter's coming out next year. So I started autumn on 12 by 12, but then I moved over to summer so that I could have that done in order for the spring one to come out, even though I thought I was gonna be able to go to that retreat, like virtual, and I wasn't able to, ended up. But I wanted to have the summer ready so that I could kind of work on spring or autumn. So I technically did this during the 12 by 12, and this is what autumn looks like. So the gazebo, and then all the little Gilmore Girls references. And then shortly later, I started the summer and finished that. So that's what's actually completed. And then spring will go over here, and this is what came out in April. So we finished that guitar and then move over to like the Dragonfly Inn and all of that Suki. So this is on 40 count Ophelia by Color and Cotton. I'm using all the called for. And that's where we're at. It's a lot of stitching, but it's so much fun because you get little like finishes in it, you know, anytime you finish a little motif. So now I want to come back and work on, I think I want to work on autumn next, because then I'll have winter. Yeah, I want to have autumn done by the time winter comes out, and then I can kind of choose between spring and winter, which direction I want to go after that. But Next is finishing up autumn. I mean, ultimately, I'd love to be caught up all together, but I have to be more realistic than that. Okay. And then this next one was 100% inspired by inspired by Stitching by the Shore, Laura. She's working on quite a few of these, but when she showed this one, I was like, I have to do it too. This is Winter Gnome it used to be Wonderland Ukraine on Etsy. They have now changed or started a different shop with these in it. And so I'll link that down below. But this is Winter Gnome 2 on 46 count raw, using all the called for. I love her. It's so much fun to stitch this one too. I want to get back to it too. And now this is officially like 2023. This is my first start of my first now WIP of 2023. So got a good bit done. We're at 17%. I am not stitching the background. So in the picture, there's like a background behind her. I'm not stitching the background, which is over half of the stitches is just the background. So I'm not doing that. And then using all the called for that too. The blues are a little bit more subdued than the cover photo. But it's perfect for winter in my opinion. So love that one. And then these next two are my designs. This one is, and I'll put a picture, is nautical flag alphabet. I'm doing this on 40 count anthracite. And that's as far as I've gotten. I've done, I spelled out our last name, and I'll put a picture here. This is what I did last year. I spelled out our last name with the flags and the year that we got married, and we're gonna frame that. So now I'm just doing the full sampler of all the flags. And if you're interested in any of my designs, I am on Gumroad, and I'll link that down below for all of them. So this is the next one that I'm working on. Right now, this is just a mock-up because I haven't finished stitching it, but it's coming. These are so much fun. They're good little mini finishes too. All right, and then this one is kind of a, not sneak peek, but I guess sort of, because this one's not for sale yet because I actually want to finish stitching it before I put it up on Gumroad, because I'm not totally sold on all the colors yet, so I want to wait until I have it actually stitched. This is a new start. Also, if you haven't seen, this is since my last video, this is a new start. Back in February, I made a cross stitch that were a part of my vows and did a kind of design around the vows and finished it around Valentine's Day. It was very fast and loved it. And then a lot of people liked it. And so I redid, same design template, but I rewrote the quote so that still had the two words, anchor and light, were kind of the two main words in the one that I made for our vows. So I changed the quotes so that it still had those words in it so that the motifs made sense. But now it's not like me selling my vows, if that makes sense. So this is now what's called Anchored in Love. This is on 40 count Chesapeake. And that's my little start. And those are actually two of the colors that I wasn't totally sold on before. So, and I'm glad because I changed them. So that's as far as we've gotten so far. And the reason too, the one I did for David was on very different fabric. So the colors for that fabric wouldn't necessarily translate to just any fabric because it was very specific for that fabric. So now we're trying on like a slightly more neutral fabric. And that's as far as I've gotten. But I think I should probably already showed it, but I'll show it again. This is the mock-up of it. And hopefully this will be out not too far in the distant future, because I love working on it. It's a lot of fun to stitch. Okay, and then my last WIP is still kind of it's not a me design, but I'm changing a lot of it. So this is Shores of Hakron Hollow. If you watched my last WIP parade, I had not gotten very far on it. It was a gift to me by a wonderful friend when I was moving a few years ago, and I've always loved this piece. Keepsakes has an incredible model of it that I've always loved it. And I love the sentiment, especially with my husband being in the Navy. And, you know, I really, really love this piece. I started on 32 count with the called for fabric, called for floss on 32 count platinum. And I just wasn't loving stitching on it. I was never stitching on it. It was too big for me to feel like I was ever gonna finish it. And it was never calling to me. And like the colors are nice, but we're not very muted. Like we love like bright tropical flowers, of colors, you know, so like tropical flowers. Like we're just a very bright colored, you know, that's kind of more of our color scheme. And these are just very subdued, which is so pretty. But like for our house, it wouldn't necessarily like fit as well. So, and also the size is just huge. So in order to make it a little bit more appealing to stitch, I have done this to it. This is my mock-up. I took my 6, well, I guess technically 5, but favorite blocks and reorganized them a little bit. And then I took all of the call for colors and did pretty much almost a complete conversion. I was just surrounded by my variegateds and my DMCs and just did basically like a complete conversion for the most part. Like the black and the white are still the same. And some of the colors definitely are staying the same, but a lot of them are also getting converted to variegated. So I'll show, and it's now going to be stitched on 40 count platinum because I now prefer 40 count over 32 for the most part. It goes a lot faster, especially being such a big piece, it'll go a lot faster for me. And I'm just gonna be more inclined to work on it, which has already been true. So I started this on Wednesday, and this is where we're at already. So I got the block done, the square done, and then before I started with the lighthouse, I was like, well, make it feel a little different. I'm gonna start in the rocks. And I've already changed two things. So these color of the rocks are all the same, except the green. That was originally like an orangey brown. And when I charted it on my charting, I just did not like it. It stood out. It looked kind of gross on the computer. And I was just like, I just don't like that as much. And I forget why I chose this color. I think it had just been like randomly on my, it had been called for somewhere else. And I was like, let me just try this one. And I really liked it, so I stuck with it. So it's more of a green. It's 3053 in DMC. And so I just put that in there and I really like it so far. And then the orange I've changed to a color and cotton. So the seagull's legs and beak are a color and cotton orange. So per block, I'll post like what changes I made. Because I don't want to post my whole conversion because it could change. This is just me guessing right now. But once I finish a block, I'll share what I changed on each block. But I love it. I'm going to work on this until I finish the first block. So we'll see how long that takes. But I mean, in 2 days, I've made pretty good progress, I feel like. I've already made more progress than I did on the original. So that's why it's still in the Q-snap, is I'm still going to work on it. Yeah, I love it. And now I get to enjoy it, you know, in the way I want to. Actually, I'll show you. This is now the colors. So a little bit brighter. The blues are brighter. This is gonna be the water. Wait, no, not that one. I took a piece out of Carolyn Zook. So Carolyn Zook, when she did By the Bay Needle Arts, the, I don't remember what it's called. It's like 12 parts and it goes all in a line. I don't remember what it's called, but it's By the Bay and there's a ton of water. And she changed it to Threadworks 1056. It looks like this. And so I'm doing that for all of the water in this piece as well. So I was also inspired by Traveling Stitcher on Instagram. I don't know if she has a FlossTube. She's changing up Shores of Hakran as well. And I really like what she's been doing so far, and that was also inspired me to kind of change it up too. I was like, yeah, you know, I should just go ahead and do this. This is the orange I'm using, Color and Cotton Jack-o'-lantern, but it was like a one of a kind, like it was a mist dye, technically by Color and Cotton. So it's not their normal jack-o'-lantern, but I'm using it for that. Let's see what else. The red is now gonna be in this, like in the lighthouse, is now gonna be Color and Cotton Jolly Suit. So that's gonna be the red I use, hopefully. But yeah, but just a little bit like more vibrant colors, like the blue. This is gonna be the main blue that's besides water that's gonna be used. So yeah, so I'll share more of that as I continue on. But I'm loving it so far. Okay, I'm gonna pause and get David and Kaia back, and then he can talk about his WIPs. Okay, so that was the cross stitch portion. I will be back again at the end of August. End of August. At least with a normal floss tube, I might do a restart and kit video. We'll see how today goes even, but I know because some things are getting restarted soon, but that's all of my cross stitch for right now. So I'll turn it over to Southern Dude Crochets.
Yes, it's not knitting. So I have 2 WIPs right now. One is a beach bag for Megan. I guess it doesn't have to be a beach bag.
It doesn't have to be.
I think it was originally intended, but...
Yeah, but I might use it not as a beach bag.
Yeah, and it's 2 colors. So the body of it is the main color, and then the top and the handle are a separate color. I'm going with Yarn Bee Sky. I should have looked up what yarn series it was. I'm getting better. Yarn Bee Sky from Hobby Lobby.
They're all Hobby Lobby threads.
Is the main color, and then the secondary color is the Yarn Bee Pearl. And I've discovered that I really enjoy the Yarn Bee yarn. I think I said that in the last video after playing around with a couple yarns. I really like that. So this is how far I've gotten on the bag.
Oh, picture of bag.
Picture of bag.
And then here's where he's at.
And I'm somewhere into the 3rd row. This is the base of the bag. It's just single crochets. And then I believe it uses alternating single crochets and half double crochets to give the bag its pattern and texture. It's really pretty. And
it's very pretty. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited to have it.
And
I was going to Kaia in it.
Yeah. It'll be... I better work quick. Yeah. And yeah, I think it'll come out really nice. I'm doing it mostly, the colors are different, obviously, but as far as the yarn weight, thank you for those who commented on the last video for how to double check the yarn weight and hook size. I'm getting much better with my gauges.
Yeah, we really appreciate all everyone that had advice for him. We do read all those comments and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and the Ravelry yarn converter has been especially helpful. And I think somebody pointed that out in the comments from the last video. So I really appreciate that. And then the other WIP that I have is going to be, I think, just kind of like my full fall big project. I mentioned in the last video, it's this blanket. The pattern is called For the Love of Texture, and it is 4 colors. The 4 colors are the Yarn Bee Silver Gray, the Barnwood Fence is this thin stripe, the blue is the blue teal, the yellow is the wheat. All from Yarn Bee in the called for weight.
So it'll look like, it'll be sideways like that.
Yeah. And I thought that this was going to go quicker. And
well, you haven't had a ton of time.
Yeah, I've been busy the last few weeks.
He was gone for a training for most of July.
So I was pretty busy. Yeah. But I really like this. This is all half double crochets, and then the occasional row of single crochet. It's a lot of fun to work on, and I'm learning a lot working on this, like how to do these little puff stitches. The hardest thing about this pattern is working with the 2 yarn strands at the same time in these middle rows. but it's good practice.
It looks really good.
Yeah, and it feels really good.
Someone did mention to check your tension, watch your tension.
Yeah,
and you've taken that to heart.
And
you've been very good about that.
Yeah, and I've developed strategies to be very consistent with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm learning a lot with this, with color changing, working with multiple strands of yarn. I'm really happy with how the colors all look together, and most importantly, how it feels. I think I will do this again in the future, but I will either do it as a 1 color or a 2 color pattern, so that I'm not...
What are you doing?
oh my. So I think that'll go quicker, and I think that it'll be even more fun to work on when I'm a much more competent crocheter.
So pretty. It's so pretty. Yeah. And how many rows are you going?
I am going with the length until I'm happy, or until I run out of my current yarn for it. It's supposed to be 58 inches long, something kind of weird in length. But I'm just going to go until I'm happy with the length, or until I run out of yarn, whichever one comes first.
Everyone comes first.
So yeah, I've been learning a lot. I've been doing a lot. I was telling Megan before this video that I'm kind of itching to do something smaller.
Yeah, he wants to work on it. You need constant finish. You need consistent finishing.
Yeah.
In order to be, that was why you stopped knitting. It's because it was taking too long.
Yeah, and it's nice to see the progress. And these are a lot of fun to work on, like I said, but I'm itching to have a finish. So some friends just got some cats, so I think I might do cat hats for them, or maybe something for the little Nugget here.
Yeah, she could use it.
Hi Nugget. I know. Welcome back. But yeah, those are my WIPs.
Yeah.
And then I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I need to do this fall. I'm doing a whole bunch of Christmas gifts, and
yes.
And a whole bunch of little things.
She needs to wear a sweater at some point.
Yeah.
We gotta see how big she's gonna get.
A sweater for her, and a sweater for Tank, and some Christmas stuff. Some Christmas accoutrement for the dogs are all on my list of things to do.
There's Tinky. Well, his butt. He's drinking water.
But yeah. Okay. That's all my crochet updates.
So, yeah, I want to see how often. I know someone was like, is he now going to be on there every time? No, because he leaves for dive school and he'll be gone for 7 months. So, no. But, if he has something to show, he'll come on. Or if he has a puppy to hold, he'll come on. But we're not changing the channel name or anything like that. Like, for the most part, it will still just be me. And then with occasional guest appearances. Yeah. Hopefully gonna get my mom back on here again soon and, do a little WIP update with her. So,
yeah. We've had a lot to talk about as a family.
Yeah, a lot of family stuff lately. So, so hopefully things will calm down a little bit. Probably not. But, you want to say goodbye to the peoples? You want to say goodbye to the peoples? Bye, friends. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.